Libra, this is your May 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or moon in the sign, this is your reading for the month ahead. It's Romy here. I appreciate you supporting the channel, taking the time to tune in. We're going to open up with the energy of strength for you. And you know, there's a reason why they say the phrase, every cloud has a silver lining. I think this may come into sharp focus and something that you'll be able to put into context through the next few weeks. But the message that comes through really clearly in relation to this is it's going to pay off. So whatever it is that you are focused upon, investing your energy towards, hoping, wishing, waiting, I think perhaps the journey through the month of May may have a couple of twists and turns for you to navigate, even some experiences that first off feel like they are not working in your favor, and yet there's something that is really going to deliver an upside for you. Okay, so be prepared through this season of continuing retrograde energy and Mercury with the eclipse reverberations taking place. You are being given the resolve, the fortitude, the tenacity to be able to not only kind of remind yourself of where you've been through experiences in the past and come out the other side stronger for it, and in all honesty, like actually grateful, I think, in many ways that you had the experience, because it's given you something extra, it's given you something more in terms of how you see the world or what you can bring with your own knowledge and the presence and the gravitas of something. But even this depiction of the strength card, I think, is really interesting, because we have this young child and she looks in such a joyful state as she kind of gently holds this canary. So again, there's something to say here of just like stand strong, hold the space, hold the line, like you're gonna move through this, whatever it is. And I think that you will see that things are going to come around and work in the way that you are expecting or have been setting your sights on. So at the beginning of the month, we are going to witness Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius, which of course for the next 5 months is an inward journey and an exploration of our personal power, and, you know, significant transformation taking place in relation to that as we really start to reflect on how we can do life on our terms. And I think that there's a need for you right now with this energy of temperance to say, you know, in order for me to maintain a sense of balance, to really feel at peace within who I am, to feel like I'm being true to myself, then there are certain terms I need to renegotiate with my partner, with my boss, with myself. In fact, I want to say to you, where are you withholding from you? Where are you not allowing the pleasure? Where are you setting up rewards for yourself but ending up like feeling like they're constantly just out of reach? There's something about this pattern that may have existed, I don't know, in family dynamics or in past relationships, but Taurus energy is teaching us about a new value proposition for ourselves. And that's one that says I have to honor, celebrate, invest, nurture, nourish, prioritize, and give back to me. And that's what it's going to take in order for you to bring about healing for yourself, but also to maintain that sense of equilibrium necessary so that you can navigate all of these crazy twists and turns and detours and whatever it is that feels like it wants to come at you in any particular day. Now we will have Juno, asteroid goddess, shifting into Gemini, fellow air sign, also on the 1st of the month, bringing like a charm and a charisma to any negotiations that you need to enter into. Remember, of course, with the retrograde energy, perhaps toward the end of the month might feel a little bit easier to communicate and get your point across. Nonetheless, 9 of Cups suggests that you will get what you want, or there is something that will work in your favor, especially when it's pertaining to anything connected to a group, a team, a family, or a situation where, you know, there's just like lots of personalities and multiple energies involved. Again, this is why it's so important that you're finding a way to kind of hold harmony and sacred space for yourself. interestingly, as we sort of look at almost the bridging of two worlds, you know, as she stands on the shoreline, but part of her is submerged in the water, I feel like you are kind of navigating through May, perhaps a very different environment, and, you know, having to wear a very different label or kind of be a different version of yourself. And, you know, that might be quite difficult for other people to see, or they may not even be aware that that's kind of what's going on, but you yourself are realizing the true polarity of how your life is sort of existing at the moment, you know? Maybe there is a version of you that deals with the in-laws or a certain group of friends, or, you know, a certain person or people at work, and then, you know, in your own soul family, or the people who really have the same field of resonance as you do, then there's just like this completely different Libra able to express themselves. And I think one of the things that you should be asking each and every day through the course of May, especially when there are moments that you feel perhaps a little bit triggered or provoked, is what will my future self benefit from in regards to this response? Yeah, so there might be a tendency to want to revert back or to kind of respond in a way that sort of lowers your vibe. And I want you orientated fully and firmly on everything that you're setting up and everything that you've come to understand about yourself, what you desire in your relationships. Now, Pallas Athena, asteroid goddess, is moving into Leo on the 2nd, bringing this new strategy and solutions. And this is important because I feel like there's a couple of situations where you need some solutions. In fact, I want to say to you, don't take it personally this month. It will wholly set you free if you look toward anyone who might be projecting or responding in a certain way, and you're realizing that it's just really not anything that you need to trouble yourself with, even if it feels directly attacking of you or connected to you in some way. You need to return to where your heart is guiding you, and that strategy will give you the solution necessary so that you can again maintain that sense of balance. Now, the Scorpio eclipse is coming in on the 5th of the month, and it's a wrapping up, but there's an intensity to this, and it is deeply cathartic in terms of what will unfold. But in that 2nd house for you, where your material possessions, the sense of value that you have, the income generation that you are considering or working upon. And remember, like Taurus energy, also ruler of the 2nd house, so there's an extra emphasis of this for you in May, is really making you, forcing you, I think, to come to terms with something that you need to let go of or release. And there's an urgency and a sort of stop going round in circles with something, Libra. Remember, Taurus wants us to understand the value of something, and then wants us to understand, when we do value it, how we can accumulate and attain more of it. And it wants us to do it in a very deliberate way, a very focused way, a very determined way, but it also wants us to stop and enjoy what we're doing while we're doing it. So, you know, round about this eclipse, as you come to this sort of powerful realization of something isn't working, something is just not working, I have to let it go, I have to let it be. I think there's a charging forward and a release, and perhaps the space to create something new or for something else to flow in. So don't be afraid to make major edits, major adjustments to anything that you feel which is directly connected to your sense of value or money, prosperity, consciousness in any way. Because I think this is the time for profound transformation. Remember, we're in 8th house energy in Taurus season, so there's a big firm emphasis around that kind of reinvention and that rebirth, but also what is going on with your money story, your money, other people's money, the merging of that, the splitting of that. Now, the other big news this month is that we will see Jupiter shifting signs from Aries into Taurus on the 16th. And the beautiful thing about this is it helps us to get real. It helps us to bring a sense of groundedness and bring life to all of the creative spark and ideas that Aries energy was helping to initiate for us. And what we now have is this charging forward with a clear sense of direction and a desire to want to bring something to life. Knight of Wands, Chariot energy tells me you're on the move and you're progressing, and something is moving quite quickly, perhaps to the degree that it feels a little bit out of control or even has a sense of overwhelm. And yet if we can kind of approach it as, well, this is more of an exhilarating adventure, or, you know, I might not have a clue what I'm doing, or I might not know where the hell I'm going, but I'll just be open. I'll be open to where I'm being guided right now. I think, again, this is where I want to say, this is where it pays off. Yeah. What would it take for you to maintain an outlook that always seeks the best case scenario? And in asking yourself that, if you feel challenged, if you feel blocked by it, where is that block coming from? Because that's the work for you this month. Because if things are moving forward and you are making traction towards what is important, what matters, what you truly want and desire, then as we approach that new moon in Taurus on the 19th, and you have this energy of Jupiter in that sign in your 8th house over this next year, helping you to reinvent yourself, then we got to get clear about where you're standing in your own way or you're withholding. Okay. So the new moon in Taurus coming in on the 19th, really important time to manifest, to harness so much of what has been sort of floating around in your ideas, kind of notes that you've written to yourself that are sort of all over the place. Like, this is a time to sort of bring everything together in a more tangible, sort of formulated like strategy, even if there's still lots of spaces, like lots of blanks that are still waiting to be filled in. There's a requirement to be a little bit deliberate this month, but still leave room for the magic. That will help you withstand any of the chaos or the anarchy that might come your way, but at the same time, see you deeply rooted in what you know is right for you, meant for you. Now, Venus shifts into Cancer on the 7th of the month, and we'll be seeking greater safety when she's in the sign. You know, there's a nurturing and a nourishment here. And so as you look around in the relationships, especially from a romantic perspective, or again in and around areas of money and income, which I think will be so firmly in your mind through the course of this month, there's a sort of tenderness and a sort of sensitivity that you need to bring to yourself, I think, as you have discussions around what's working, what isn't, what would make me feel more secure in this right now. Why am I seeking that? Where is that coming from? Is that coming from wound, or is that coming from just a place of certainty and wanting to be in alignment and resonance with somebody? So there's big questions you're asking yourself in that 8th house, because you want to go there. You want to bond. You want to feel the intimacy, if you like, of conversations, not just romantically, but with everybody that you connect to. Now, my soul journeys this month, in the light, we're exploring sitting in the power. So where you do feel drained or depleted, or if you are sort of digging deep to help overcome or be strong in what you need to do in order to kind of handle something, this is a beautiful journey. We will offer restoration, recharging, rejuvenation as you connect in with source energy. And in the shadow, we're looking at clearing a block, a specific block, whether you know or whether you don't know what that is. And that process is really incredibly cathartic. So you can find these over on my website. The link is in the comment and description box underneath. Okay, so the last 3 cards we will cover off in our extended version of the reading, Libra. You will find the link for that below. We'll talk for another 25 minutes or so and go much deeper into this soul story and see where it wants to take us. I'm also going to go ahead and clarify this and see any additional insights that might change or shape the narrative for us. Okay, so Strength has the Wheel of Fortune and the World. Interesting. Okay, 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, Got moon energy here. Page of Cups. We're also going to welcome Mars coming into Leo on the 20th of the month. So again, our drive, motivation, ignited by a fire sign, especially helping us creatively, but also again to just be really brave and bold, fearless in the pursuit of the things that we know are meant for us, or that we are just ready to invite in. And this is the month where really like the challenge is being set. Do you believe enough to receive? And that, you know, is a phrase I'm sure you've heard many times over the years, but it's coming back into sharp focused, knowing what you now know, having been through what you have. How are you using that? How are you drawing upon all of your natural intuitive gifts and skills? Okay. 8 and 9 of Swords showing up for you this month does show a little bit of a stress coming in. Again, sometimes we just get in our own way. I have a feeling though, like I said, every cloud has a silver lining and it's going to pay off. These are the two phrases I'm going to repeat for you. As we move into Gemini season, of course, from the 21st, coming into that 9th house of higher learning, you really are going to be catapulted in your spiritual growth to be learning new things and receiving messages and downloads in some extraordinary ways. Okay, we are pulling from Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my deck here. You can find this over on my website. You'll also see Moon Musings, which is now available on Amazon, as well as the ebook and the audio version, which will both be online through the month of May. Okay, we have Blossoming Soul Song, beautiful card. Interesting, we've got the little yellow canary kind of showing up again here for you. Soul Stories. Spirit Bear, Ancestral Protection, love that. New Moon. I think this new moon is a really big one for you, so pay attention around the 19th of the month. What's going on, what you feel driven towards. Solstice. Of course, we'll be welcoming solstice next month in June, and so again, you know, between this new moon and the solstice energy, a lot happening around the manifestation for you of specific things. Spirit Stag, you've got some nice animal energy showing up for you this month, Libra. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull from the Enchanted Oracle map. Again, all the decks that I use are also listed below. Actually, we got two, so let's take them both. Commitment and education. Interesting. I'm going to explore those a little bit more in our extended reading, along with a personal question and a full reveal of the cards here. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting me. I wish you well. I will see you next time. If you are joining me, link is below. See you there.